In your head, your app idea is probably the greatest thing to ever happen to the world. It's going to make you rich or famous or both. I've been convinced of this multiple times in the past, and then a few days later have realised that I was utterly wrong and that I was just caught up in my own idea, and the world didn't actually need whatever ridiculous plan I had. I get it. Maybe, though, your hunch is right. It's important to test that hunch and get your early concept in front of others for feedback. Now, this can be tough. Showing a half-baked idea to friends or colleagues or even scarier, strangers, is usually a brutal experience. At least it is if they're honest. That's why prototyping is so important. Your prototype is a proof of concept. It's a conversation starter. It's not necessarily a working app. It's just a way of getting your idea out of your head and into other people's heads. But importantly, it's a way to build quickly. Not only are you making progress, it feels like you're making progress and not being tied down by planning. Your prototype should absolutely be something rough and scrappy that invites feedback and can be changed quickly. Prototypes reduce risk enormously. You can fail fast if you need to. They allow you to get a sense of how your idea resonates with others before investing tons of time and money. And they bring other people into the creative process. Having other viewpoints is a great idea in itself. There is a common myth that the creative process is this solo experience, that novelists lock themselves up in a room and appear weeks later with their masterwork complete, that developers just neck a bunch of energy drinks and stick their headphones on and then come up with the new world-changing app on their own. And maybe that does happen sometimes. You just don't see all the novelists that got rejected and all the app developers who got a total of 1 download. More often than not, for something that's successful, lots of people were involved in the process. The original spark of inspiration might hit you in the shower, but it happened because 2 or 3 other things that you heard at work or in class or down the pub happened to collide after rattling round in your head for a while. And once you've got that spark, other people can help fan it into a flame. The creative process is usually social. For an app, prototyping and feedback is central. It's a way of inviting people into your process. It brings in new perspectives and, crucially, it allows you to see if your early idea is any good or if it's actually really, really terrible and only looks beautiful within the idealized world in your own brain. So just to let you know, this is an incredibly rough idea. I haven't really built anything for this. Like on my end, rather than an app, I'm just gonna ask you to text a number, and we haven't got anything fancy doing the research for me. It's literally just gonna be me Googling desperately. So it might be a little bit slower than the actual app would be. But the idea is that wherever you are in the world, you can open up the app, you can push a button, and it will tell you something interesting about where you are. I'm just going to ask you to text a number rather than downloading an app or anything like that. I just kind of want to work out whether the idea is any good. I want you to imagine that you are visiting the city, the area, wherever you are right now, or somewhere you've been recently for the first time, or just a new area of the same city, something like that, and you want to learn something new.
Yeah, I have to spell this correctly. Loop, it's VRE, is that right?
It's going to be interesting if you don't.
Let's find out. Okay.
I think I'll go with Guarantee Building in Buffalo, New York.
I'm going to Google Maps, zooming way out and trying to find some coordinates here.
Bath. Okay, Bath. Bath. That is literally the middle of nowhere. Oh, come on! This is exact latitude and longitude that I now have to...
Well, you asked for it.
I did ask for an exact pin location. This is fine. There will now be a brief pause while our fantastic and state-of-the-art machine learning systems find something interesting to send you. Oh my, why can't I type under pressure? Tell you what, research against the clock is really difficult. I've just realised something as I send these facts back, is that what I'm doing is I'm immediately pulling from the first paragraph of Wikipedia, which is instantly the history of why it got that name. I'm trying to find anything interesting about Stonehouse.
Oh, God. Maybe I need to move.
Okay, you know what? There we go. Send.
There's a response coming in.
I have a fact.
Okay, that's a bad fact.
That is a bad fact, yes.
Okay. Upton St Leonard's has won the Bledisloe Cup for the best kept village in Gloucestershire in the large village category more than 20 times. Well, that is interesting.
Bath was originally called Aquia Sulis in 60 AD when the Romans built baths and a temple there.
Okay, the Louvre was originally a fortress and was only turned into a museum for the people after the French Revolution. Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
So you said you're feigning interest there. Is that not a great fact?
I don't know, I was expecting something more, what's the word? Gory. I wanted, like a battle or something like that.
So that's the prototype. And admittedly, the prototype is me desperately Googling and typing something, rather than having some fancy computer system do it. But from a gut reaction is an app that tells you something interesting about wherever you are, something you might want or want to play with?
Yeah, definitely. I think the key thing that's going to kind of make it or break it will probably be the type of content that it gives out.
So rather than just pulling the closest location, it pulls a few close things and tries to work out which one would be most interesting?
Yeah, or like which one do you want to know about? Do you want to know like an art fact? Do you want to know like a geography thing? And then maybe it can give you more based on that.
I like that I've been able to send you facts that you have genuinely enjoyed, but the amount of research and human looking through to form that into one sentence that could send was I think something that would be difficult for a computer to do.
Yeah, this like honestly, these feel like Tom Scott facts, like the kind of things you get paid to find and make YouTube videos on.
I think I like the idea. I like the specificity of the facts that you're giving. You kind of gave me something you didn't even know that I'd want by hitting me with an Andy Warhol fact. I like random music facts and pop culture facts, and I think that if I could have just trivia based around those things, so I could be even more annoying to my friends about how much I know about pop culture, that'd be great.
It would be nice to just maybe have a quick button to say wherever you are. So maybe I go to a different town or I'm traveling. I could just hit something and it'll tell me. But I also thought it was cool to be able to go look somewhere else and just kind of explore the map. So I think there's value in both.
That's not something I thought of doing. Gut reaction, does this work as an idea of find me something interesting here?
No, I love it. I think if it could be as simple as not even having to open an app, but pressing the app button and then it just appears with the fact, then yeah, I think that would be really good.
But it needs to find something more interesting than just what I've pulled up?
Maybe that could be an option to say, is this interesting? Yes or no, and you click on yes or no, and then if it's no, then it brings up something new, and I don't know.
Is there anything is there anything that you think doesn't work?
I think if this were just an app on the App Store, I probably wouldn't have it on my phone, just because if you want to open something and go in and do it, I just don't think I would think to do it that often.
That's fantastic. That's also the first time someone's given honest negative feedback, which is great because we needed that. Thank you so much.
I mean, I think it would depend on the quality of if you're sending me stuff like this, I would love it. It would be a great app. The fun part is going to be people, I think, trying to trick the app into, like trying all the weird little edge cases and how it responds. It's the way that you ask Siri all the most strange questions just to see if you can trip her up. I think if the app worked the way it works when Tom Scott is the mastermind behind it, it would be really great. But like a sleek app that does this, I'd be really satisfied with that.
Feedback can be rough. That was mostly positive, although I'm aware I didn't ask complete strangers, so I should be a little bit cautious. And now it's time to do some reflection. After any feedback session, you should think on what you've learned while things are still fresh in your head. So, let's talk through what I've learned. First up, pulling something out from the first paragraph on Wikipedia doesn't work well. It usually just gives the story of why a place got its name or some other basic information. I need a system that pulls something interesting from the whole article or from other data sources. Sometimes the fact just wasn't interesting. That makes sense. I wasn't really considering the user when searching. Maybe the app should get to know the person and their interests and tailor it for them. And finally, some people saw the app as a way to explore the world from their phone rather than just seeing what's around them. Maybe that's something I need to add. What have we learned? Well, first of all, your prototype is a proof of concept. A prototype is a conversation starter. It's a way to bring people into the creative process. Even the roughest, scrappiest, earliest prototype will help you learn about what works and what doesn't. Second up, don't try and make your prototype perfect. Prototypes are just a way to help you learn quickly. Everything you learn now will save you lots of time and money later when you go into detailed development. Make mistakes now when they're cheap and fast. And finally, a prototype is all about users and feedback. The best way to find out if your idea is any good is to put it in front of real people. It's a tool to help you get feedback and use that to make your idea even better. That means you need to spend some time finding patterns and reflecting on the feedback you received. Those patterns aren't always obvious, but they are all part of the process. Next time, which platform should you choose for your app?